What's up once again, ladies and gentlemen? It's Aeron next from the Wrestle Plug here for a quickfire WWE Raw review. Let's get right to it on the Wrestle Plug. So, WWE Raw tonight, we finally know who will be the final man in the Money in the Bank ladder match that will be this Sunday at WWE's Money in the Bank. But first, cheeky little promo time. MVP's Live Lounge. Oh, Jesus, this segment was crap. Just putting it out there, man. I was really disappointed with the lack of content from here. MVP sells the match up fairly well, says, hey, last week we tried it with the men, that didn't work, so we're going to bring the women out this week. And obviously, being from the Raw brand, only the women who are representing that brand. So, of course, Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax. Yeah, that worked out well last week. The women come out. They cut very mediocre promos, apart from Asuka, who is amazing at this point on the mic. She's just so unhinged and so manic. I love it. They get in each other's faces a bit. Nia Jax falls on her ass. And, yeah, see you on Sunday. Thanks for that. Great build. With MVP just kind of standing between and going, ladies, please, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Like some drunk club bouncer. On a Saturday night in your local, just kind of say, it's not worth it, just leave it, Barry. Just so random. So random. Terrible opener. Followed up with the Gauntlet Match. And of course, the winner of this Gauntlet Match would head on to Money in the Bank as the final member of the match to replace the supposedly, I believe, injured Apollo Crews. I believe that's a kayfabe injury. No idea. Maybe he's going to appear during the match. Don't really care, if I'm being truthfully honest. Good worker, but as I said last week, not bothered about him as a character. What I am bothered about is who is moving on. So we had a few jobbers come out. Bobby Lashley was looking great. This was so typical of WWE, this match, because it went on for about a good 40-45 minutes. We got great content. We got great storytelling. And then we also got bullshit storytelling too. So, first of all, Bobby Lashley runs through a few people. Looks great. Then he gets cheekily disqualified. That was garbage. Like, this kind of way of, oh, well, you know, we've got to protect Bobby Lashley, so it'll be fine. Let's just give him a DQ. It made him look stupid. The fact that he shoved the referee, and then the referee as well looked like a total bitch. He was like, you touched me, you put your hand at me. Yeah. Like, fuck off. I get it, it's the letter of the law, but I thought it was weak. So, there goes Bobby Lashley to destroy it. Along comes Humberto Carrillo. Who decides that, you know, from this moment he's going to have his little run, and they decide that Angel Garza and Austin Theory will both get a tremendous amount of offense in on Humberto Carrillo, but both times will get cheekily rolled up and look very stupid. You know, with Zelina Vega at ringside as well, the idea being that she's this more cerebral individual, don't understand this booking. Obviously, I'm a huge fan, so I want them to do well, but I don't mind them losing to Carrillo, but make it, you know, semi-believable. I think I don't get why I'm supposed to care about Humberto Carrillo in this position, especially when I've been told for the last few weeks, oh, look how dangerous all of Zelina Vega's guys are. I thought that was piss poor. I really did. Seeing them both get rolled up in pretty dumb fashion. But it did lead to the final man of the gauntlet. Yes, indeed, the return of the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. It's amazing how much he makes a difference. He comes out, this product immediately feels big time. It feels like a star, you know, it feels like a star quality show when he's on it. We haven't seen him since Wrestlemania. Commentators did a good job of selling that. Boneyard match and everything. What's great about AJ Styles losing that match is, okay, we don't need to really explain why he got buried alive and he's still alive, so to speak. He just cut this brilliant promo at the end as well. So obviously he goes over Humberto Carrillo. He's going to be the final man in the Money in the Bank ladder match. That instantaneously makes that match more watchable for me. Makes it much more of a contest for me. I am now all of a sudden highly intrigued in this match. I was already excited for this match. You know, there are guys in it that I love, Aleister Black and Daniel Bryan, and who doesn't love Rey Mysterio, and any kind of scenario that involves flying around. And I also quite like Baron Corbin as well, has to be said. And Otis, of course, is everyone's favourite from SmackDown. Let's not even deny that. But having AJ Styles in there just legitimises it a bit and makes it just feel that little bit more special. And the fact that they're going to also film this ladder match, or have filmed it, it can mean nothing but good things. Great promo by AJ Styles, of course, talking about how, yeah, I got buried, but I didn't lose. There are no rules. There's no winning and losing in a boneyard match, and he's absolutely spot on. And then that is almost compounded by his great sort of promo. He really got across the fact that it doesn't really matter. I didn't lose. Nobody loses in a match like that. It's a bit sad that Gallows and Anderson won't be at ringside with him going forward. I think that's a real heartbreaker, because they just feel like they go together, Some things belong together, and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson belong with AJ Styles. And sadly, they are no longer with their good brother. But you can check out Talking Shop, and I highly recommend it. Great Gauntlet Match. To be fair, really good. Also very weird seeing Titus O'Neil wrestle, even if it was for about 12 seconds. Thanks for coming, buddy. How long until that guy stops being a company bitch and leaves? Seriously. Of all the people they released, but they don't release Titus O'Neil, and then they just job him out like a bitch like that. Pointless. Same with Akira Tozawa. Kind of feel bad for Tozawa as well, because he's been putting in a good shift lately, working hard on Raw, but he's one of those guys that, although he's a good wrestler, nobody really cares about him. They just don't, and it is what it is. So, moving on. Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah, cut himself a banging promo. I've been very critical of this character up until now, but ever since Mania, he seems to have turned a corner. And he feels like more of an individual guy with disciples that will kind of kick in when he needs them. Case in point, Murphy last week, taking the bullet for him against Drew McIntyre, which I really enjoyed. Killer promo, sat down with Charlie Caruso, made his story very succinct, very honest. He's so much better as a heel, Seth Rollins. He's such a terrible face. He just comes across as disingenuous. He tends to come across as a bit of a bellend at the best of times, and this is great. I don't have a problem if you're an arsehole. I'm an arsehole too, mate. Congratulations. Don't try and pretend you're not, though. That's the cool thing about Seth Rollins. This way he doesn't have to pretend. He can just be a straight up dickhead. Being a heel is always going to make you a more interesting person. I see whingy little bitches on social media talking about, yeah, people, smarks just want to turn everybody heel. That's because heels are more interesting, man. I ain't interested in a fucking superhero, especially not in wrestling. Why should I be? This is the modern era. It's different, and people see through a lot of that fake horse shit nowadays. There are no Stings anymore. There are no major baby faces. There's no John Cena's anymore. That's why John Cena's happy to step away at this point, because he knows that, hell, he can make money elsewhere, and he can make money being a superhero on the big screen, same as The Rock. Seth Rollins delivered a phenomenal promo, hyping his match with Drew McIntyre and Money in the Bank, hyping up the fact that, hey, Murphy's gonna, I have the utmost faith that Murphy can do the business tonight. And what I loved about his promo was the subtleties. We all know that he's playing this kind of religious character, this messiah, and there were loads of really great references, talking about keeping the faith, talking about followings, and, almost like a kind of insane cult leader. Very cool. Very unique, but he also keeps it low-key and subtle. He doesn't just throw it straight out there for you, and I really enjoy this. And also he looks great, love the look, the kind of almost silenced, cold look. He's got a real hitman appeal about him. Loved it. Thought it was phenomenal. Couldn't care less about the tag match that went on after that. Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink, I want to say, all 6'5" of him apparently. Very keen to point out the fact that he's 6'5". I believe it's even his Twitter handle, and there's probably a good reason for that, because he ain't really got much else going on, has he? No charisma. Neither of these lads do, with all due respect. A couple of Australian lads, very good wrestlers. Shane Thorne was part of, I believe, TM61, who, of course, are no longer a thing. His partner left. He stayed. He's now tagging with Vink because, hey, Australians stick together. And they beat Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. Another team that is got plenty of potential, very athletic, but they're two guys who aren't particularly that charismatic, not very good on the mic. It's so funny, isn't it? WWE fans, the first thing they say to me, if I ever have any critiques, but yeah, well, WWE is all about entertainment, it's all about quality and storylines and things like that. Okay, well, none of these guys have any of that. They're just really good wrestlers. And then all of a sudden people jump to the, yeah, well, not everybody needs to be a good mic worker. You've just told me it's all about entertainment. It's one or the other. You know, if you want to say to me, hey, you know, these guys have a place, but they're not particularly charismatic, or they're not part of the entertainment side of things, that's fine. But don't argue the point that WWE is special because of entertainment, because what you're essentially saying is these guys aren't special. So you can't argue against that case, as far as I'm concerned. I don't care about either tag team, and I find it a bit ridiculous. They've been building up Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. You know, these guys are the next big tag team. They even said it at the beginning of the intro, and then they lose to these two Australian lads. Great. Now, I don't mind seeing fresh tag teams come into the fold, but considering that straight after this we were getting Street Profits and War Raiders, big difference for me. Very big difference. Two highly established, highly competent tag teams coming up. You know, major players, your tag team champions, arguably the number one contenders in War Raiders, the guys who obviously have their number, so to speak. So why am I supposed to care about Ricochet and Alexander? Why am I supposed to care about Thorne and Vink? Why am I supposed to care about singles guys being put together again? Give me proper tag teams. You've got enough of them. You cannot honestly say to me, where's Lorcan and Birch, man? They should be in this position. They should be the ones getting the push. There are so many other guys who really, for my money, deserve this. I get pushing new talents, but Thorne and Vink weren't even over on NXT. Shane Thorne certainly wasn't. Nobody cares about them. So why am I supposed to care about them on Raw if I didn't care about them on your so-called developmental show? Doesn't make sense to me. Man, how about them Street Profits? Every single time you think they've hit a limit, they just somehow find another level. And once again, they're renewing their rivalry, their long-term rivalry, it feels like, with the Viking Raiders. Two guys who have got their number, and once again, they got their number here. They beat them once again on Raw, but this match was fantastic. It was competitive. It was exciting. I still maintain that Montez Ford is legitimately going to be a megastar, providing that the people who are in the know-how put him in a position to be one. That's all that matters at this point. That's the only thing stopping him from becoming one of the best wrestlers in the world and the biggest name in this company is whether or not the powers that be have the fucking balls to move their stupid, archaic, bullshit, racist tendencies aside and make Montez Ford the man, because he has all the potential to be so. And I'm still enjoying him with Dawkins. Originally, when they first got together, I wasn't as huge a fan of Dawkins, and I felt like Montez Ford had a bigger upside, but they just go together so well. They have a really great chemistry. They work so well with the Viking Raiders as well. These guys always have great matches. This was another excellent match. This could have easily been the main event. That's how good it was. Loved it. Loved it. Excellent match. Really great storytelling. Hard hitting as well. Good, physical, solid meat and potatoes wrestling spliced with all that great athleticism that you expect. And what can you say about the Viking Raiders as well? It's great that they can get such high profile wins. You talk about a tag team match I didn't give a shit about in the one that came before this, and then this was the complete opposite. This was a match I cared about. Fuck that last tag team match. This is where the tag team wrestling is at. This is the kind of stuff that we should all be consuming when we talk about tag team wrestling. Absolutely great stuff. As was the Aleister Black promo as well. Anyone catch this sick little dark promo talking about AJ Styles, talking about how it didn't make him humble being buried 6 feet deep, and that if he somehow throws him off of the skyscraper or the WWE headquarters at Money in the Bank, he better pray he doesn't get back up. First of all, I've only ever seen one man fall off the side of a building that large and get back up. That was Big Show. I want to say Starcade 95 or some fucking sweaty nerds probably going to correct me, but Hulk Hogan accidentally knocking the Big Show, or the Giant should I say, off of it might have been a Halloween Havoc actually. It was when the monster, it was Halloween Havoc, I'm pretty sure of it, in 95, with the monster trucks with the Dungeon of Doom. Funny stuff. There's one for the older fans in you. Yeah, that's, unless he's gonna somehow resurrect himself courtesy of Kevin Sullivan, which is a touchy subject at the best of times, then I'm not buying that you're gonna get back up if you get thrown off the side of the building. But you never know. You never know what WWE's got in store for you, especially with these pre-tape matches. But great promo. He looked cool. He delivered his promo well. I love the setting. It was very Bray Wyatt-esque from his earlier days, but I liked it. Thought it was great. Really cool promo. And how about Liv Morgan as well? We talk about Aleister Black with this defining promo as well. How about Liv Morgan, man? She comes out and cuts a blistering promo on Charlotte Flair, who already was cutting a great promo. This was quality. Once again, another argument. All I ever hear, Charlotte Flair, blah, blah, blah. Basically, Liv Morgan's promo was fine, but her opinion of Charlotte Flair is very much what the actual pathetic marks think. They actually genuinely think that Charlotte Flair hasn't worked at all and is, not a very good wrestler, or just handed everything because of her second name, which is just embarrassing, really. If you still think that, you really need to go fuck yourself, quite simply put. But Liv Morgan's promo was great, absolutely killer promo, fantastic from the face variety with that little bit of edge, and Charlotte Flair out here putting her over, sharing the mic work with her, not just cutting her off or talking over all the time as other great stars, and I use that with inverted commas, tend to do at times. She gave Liv plenty of opportunity to speak, plenty of opportunity to shine in her own right, and of course that follows on into the match. Liv Morgan has been really exciting lately. I've loved her wins over Ruby Riott. I love the fact that she discussed the fact that she, felt that she was going to be a champion going forward. Love this confidence streak, and I love her look as well. Obviously, a lot of people are going to say, well, of course you do, she's raging hot. She is beautiful, but she's also got a real presence about her now, something that she never had when she first started. She's always been beautiful, she's always been cool, she's always been fun. Well, everyone remembers the pizza stuff and the New Jersey girl in NXT, but this is a different story, a different layer, and it works really well for her. I'm really thrilled to see her finally coming into her own and making herself a credible contender in this women's division. Honestly, by the end of this match, I've always loved Liv Morgan. I've always thought she's got so much going for her, but wow, Charlotte Flair elevated her even further. She made her feel special. For all the pathetic marks out there who whinge about Charlotte Flair all the time, and Charlotte doesn't sell, Charlotte's always getting pushed over everybody else. Fucking hell. This is Liv Morgan's best match by far. Absolutely her best match by far, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that Charlotte Flair went out there and helped elevate her star, and also Liv Morgan held her own. She put in her own offense, she put in her own time, her own work. Loved it. Loved every single second of it. Liv Morgan, mark my words, is on her way to being a megastar as well. Much in the same way I wax lyrical about Montez Ford, I feel like Liv Morgan is finally starting to shine through as one of the most exciting prospects in that women's division. Loved this match. It was match of the night for me. It was exciting, it was fun, it was energetic, it was physical as well. Liv Morgan's so pretty, but she's so violent too. She can dish out the physicality. Absolutely loved everything about this match. Thought it was phenomenal. Definitely a match you should go out of your way to watch. A lot of people I've noticed, especially on social media, are like, there was a couple of botches, and shit happens. It's fucking wrestling. Everyone fucking botches. That shouldn't take away from this amazing match. And the fact that Charlotte needed to use literally everything to put Liv Morgan away, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's almost like she, as Louisiana Man says, sprinkled a little bit of that queen dust all over her, and now she feels like an even bigger star. Absolutely phenomenal. Great stuff. Really thrilled for Liv Morgan, especially because she's put in the work to get where she is right now. The main event was a bit of a screamer as well, so it was built up so much. Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins' disciple, Buddy Murphy, who of course earlier in the night said that he believed that one day he would be better than Seth Rollins, which was very interesting. I like this match, but it was once again too short. I don't know why they keep doing this, but I think this is like the third or fourth Raw in a row where we've had Drew McIntyre finish a show. Drew McIntyre's basically been in the main event of pretty much every Raw, as far as I know, since Mania. And they always leave so little time. And they have other great matches, and the women's match certainly was fantastic and shouldn't have been cut short. But again, Murphy versus Drew McIntyre, that should be a good 15-20 minute banger, and instead we just got this kind of 5-minute banger, and it was fine, it was great, it was physical, it was vicious, I enjoyed it, But yeah, I mean, Seth Rollins is obviously at ringside. It just got cut short. I like the fact that Buddy Murphy went for the Claymore kick. Sorry, I'm only allowed to call him Murphy now because Vince McMahon only likes one fucking name. God damn it. I liked it. I like the fact that he went for the Claymore and then just got caught out of nowhere by Drew. Very interesting, very believable. Like Seth Rollins' facial expressions as well. The fact that he just kept, like, every time Murphy failed or got knocked out, he just this look of sheer anger and disappointment. And yeah, very, very interesting to say the least. Seth Rollins, by the way, the speed at which he got back in. So Seth Rollins goes up the ramp, he leaves. And then, literally, you sneeze, and he's back in the ring again. He had left. And he just comes out of nowhere. Boom, hits his super kick on Drew. And once again, gets one over on Drew. But, do you know what? I've said this for a few weeks now. I thought SmackDown was pretty bad last week. This, on the other hand, is a good fucking show. Raw has been actually really good for my money, and we've had really solid, fantastic, exciting wrestling matches to boot as well. Look at the Street Profits versus War Raiders, that was fantastic. Absolutely loved the Gauntlet Match, thought it actually had plenty of content in it. The women's match was brilliant, and this main event, although short, was also hard-hitting, physical, excellent stuff. Nice that Buddy got a fair amount of offense in, considering he's up against a Leviathan like Drew. And Seth Rollins has really told a lovely story involving Drew as well. He just has this wonderful way about him. He just seems to help elevate Drew, and they seem to work so well together. And I was very critical of the fact that Seth was the next contender, because hey, why the fuck should Seth Rollins be the next contender? But he went for the curb stomp. Drew ultimately gives him another one of them Glasgow kisses, which is, by the way, one of the best headbutts I've ever seen in wrestling. And Seth gets out of dodge before he gets hit with a Claymore, once again sneaking away. And we move towards Money in the Bank this Sunday. It's going to be a killer. We're going to be reviewing it for WrestlePlug, of course. Going to be on the YouTube channel, going to be available on all our audio podcasts as well, at WrestlePlug on social media, to keep in contact with us and join in the fun as we live tweet and check out the show. We also have an Xbox Live party open, so if you are a part of the Xbox Live community, you can jump in a party with us and watch it. All you have to do is contact us and let us know what your gamer tag is. But let us know what you thought of Raw, guys. I thought overall it was an excellent show. A couple of things irked me, but this was way better than SmackDown, really was. So at WrestlePlug, of course, on all social media channels. Don't forget to like and comment as well. If you like this video, please get involved. Make sure you hit the bell icon for more notifications going forward from us. We've got so much more YouTube content to go through, and obviously we've got so much that's already up there. Earlier today we dropped a magnificent little Manic Monday style animated review of WCW Monday Nitro Episode 1, which we had covered on the podcast a few months back to celebrate the beginning of AEW and NXT and the Wednesday Night War, and we now have a fully animated video that you can check out, so make sure you have a look out for that. But most importantly, thank you very much for checking in for this Raw review. I have been Aeron X, and I'll catch you very soon for more content from the WrestlePlug.